Hello, you all. I just want to show you today how to go ahead and edit a PowerPoint presentation that you might already have. So I've already started doing this and I'm kind of in the middle of it now. I've literally used this presentation multiple times. So some of what you see, especially toward the end, might be a combination of several different presentations. Sometimes when I have not fully formed a presentation, I will continue to keep some of the slides that I did not use at the end of the presentation for another time when it might be more appropriate. But this particular slideshow has been something that has kind of journeyed with me since 2013, 14, 15, and so on. So let's get started. I've already begun repurposing this for a visioning session. I don't use PowerPoints often, so let me just start by saying that. But when I do, I want something that looks pretty good. And I want something that is not too busy. Now, technically, in my own opinion, this is actually a very busy slide because of the background, not necessarily because of the foreground. And let me quickly show you how you can fix that. If you have anything in any graphic or design that is too busy for you and you can't necessarily see, all of what you want to see very clearly, then the easiest way to fix that is to put a shape behind the text. And the shape that we're going to use is a rectangle. So don't just put any shape, put a rectangle, right? So you'll see me put in the rectangle. I really just use the automatic options that were already there. I'm going to do that one more time so you can see what I did. So I put undo, which is Control Z. And if you go here on the Home tab, upper left-hand corner, you go here to the drawing section right here. Then you can see where the rectangle is an option if you hover around on the rectangle. So I click the rectangle option and you can see that it is highlighted up here. And then I go ahead and put the rectangle where I want it to be on the page. Now the auto options on this rectangle make it a blue rectangle, but no sooner than I click that rectangle and I have completed it, I get this option to change the format of my rectangle. So I can go here in this drop down and create various options. All right, you can see all of these options. I don't want a rectangle that is clear. I want a rectangle that has a bit of color to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this one with the white background. This is the color that we want. And it has a purple outline. I'm going to click that one and I'm going to change the opacity of this. I'm going to make it a little bit transparent and then I'm going to put it behind the text. Okay, so the option that I chose was again this one that had the purple outline and the white fill. Okay, and you can see that right here. And if you click on Shape Styles, this bottom right hand option over here on your right side, you'll get all of these options for how this shows up. And you get to format it with greater detail. And there's so many options. The only one that we care about right here is transparency. We're going to increase the transparency of this. Okay, and I think 38 would be pretty good. But then I'm going to take and place this at the back. So if I right click on that box, I click over here and it gives me an option to send to back. And so what has happened very quickly is that these things have come to the front and then the rectangle is going backwards. So we're going to right click again and we're going to send to back. And as you see, I clicked it again and here comes that line to the front. I'm going to right click it again. Well, I don't need to because now my text is in the front. And I know my text is in the front because when I click on the text, I now have the ability to edit it. Okay. And so the last thing I'm going to do is increase the transparency more because I don't want the white showing. but I do want the white to be just create a little bit more clarity and people being able to see my text. So as you see, as you move this, it changes a number of things. You get it to where you need to get it. And technically, I could have it fully white and just change the color of my text right here. So I'm going to go back to the Home tab and go to the Font Options, Font Color, and I could change my text to any number of these colors. Okay. I like that one actually. That looks pretty good. So let's just say we use that for the time being. Now, here's some quick options I want to show you. So I have right here a particular topic, which is goals of visioning. I like for everything to always show up in the same place, no matter which slide I go to. So what I do is I click on this, I push Control C for copy, or you can right click and do a copy, okay, and that would be the option right here. You right click and do a copy. Then I go to the next tab that is here. I will delete this one and then I do Control V or paste. And you can see that it put the goals of visioning in the same place that it is in on the prior slide. All right. So look, as you transition between these two slides, goals of visioning is absolutely in the same place. Right? And I'm going to show you that one more time. I'm going to create another slide and let's do 2 more times. All right, so I've already copied goals of visioning. I'm going to go again one more time. Take this, delete it, Control Paste. And that is Control V, and it is in the same place. One last time, take where it says the whole woman, delete that, Control Paste it, Control V, okay? So the thing about pasting it on these new pages is that the line is not in the same place. So I need to make sure that that line shows up in the same place. You see this line right here. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to just select all of these things and make sure that I can get them on the same place. So select my line as well. Control C. And then go on any of these tabs where my line is not in the same place and make sure I can put the line in the same place. So like this one, move this over so that I can select the line, and then paste. So now it pastes it in the same spot that it's in on all these other slides. Okay, I have another place where it's not in the same area. So I move that in a little bit more, take this line right here, delete it, and do a paste. All right, I'm going to take all of these items, and it's not letting me select everything that I want to select, so I'm going to exit out of here. And I'm going to select as much as I can. They have an option up here on this bar where you can select all objects, select everything, or you can show the selection pane. I like to use the selection pane. And so when you do the selection pane, I can go through here and just manually click on everything to select it. I can hold down the Control key while I am doing it, and it would allow me to select everything that I need to select. So I want to select everything that says picture. Okay. And then select all the text and text boxes around these pictures. All right. And some of these things I don't need yet, so undo those, but move everything that I know I will use. Okay, I think I got all of it. And now I'm simply going to unclick, Control, unhold that down, and move these things down with my arrow. So now that they're selected, they will all go in the same places I need them to go. And so I just wanted to move them down a little bit so that since I added my line there, I don't have any additional problems. Select this particular rectangle, delete that, delete this. I don't even know why that stuff was there. Okay, delete those things. I actually would love another row of this down here. So you see how I selected all of that just with my mouse and dragging my mouse. And now I'm going to do dragging it. I can move it like that, but I'm going to do a Control C and a Control V. And so now it's created the same information for me again. Just move it down so it's about lined up the same way the other one is, with the same space in between the pictures. And now all I would have to do is go in and change the pictures. Okay, let me show you something else. So as you go to these slides in the top, you see that I have these tabs which kind of show what we're doing. And I'm using both of those tabs for promotional opportunity, right? So I have, CoachDNicole.com, and then I have the Twitter and the Facebook. I'm going to select these things just like that, or you use your selection pane, okay? So we're using our selection pane. Go in here with the control held down, select what you want, okay? So find them and then select them. All right. And this is tricky because you don't know which one is which. Oh, I'm good. Thank you. All right. Y'all, I just had my friend check up on me. How beautiful. All right. So Control, hold that down. The text box again, hold that down. So what I'm going to do now is Control C. And then all of these other tabs where it needs that information, I'm simply going to put the information on it. You see that the tabs that I'm clicking here on the left, they already have it. And let's make these a little bigger for you. But they already have it. Each new slide that I click on already has it. So I'm just going to these that don't have it. Deleting what's there. Select the box, not the text in the box. And just click on Control Paste. Control V, don't forget it. Select the box, delete it. Select the box, delete it, and Control V. All right. Select the box, delete it, and Control V. Now let me show you something else. You have here what to view, okay? If I go here to my Slide Master, I click on Slide Master. This is the master template for every single slide. So you see how I was manually putting something that I wanted on every slide. I did it individually. Well, you don't have to do that, okay? What I can do right here is just add that to the master slide. And once I add it to the master slide, it will be on every single slide that I have, okay? This graphic that is here, that's like these folder tabs, it's just there. And so the Twitter and Facebook icons, they're already manually put in there. What I'm going to do now is simply line up my text with those icons, and then I'm going to close the master view. So now you will see it's like duplicated simply because it's already on the slide master. It's absolutely duplicated right here, but because it's in the same spot, you don't even know it's duplicated. So now I can literally go all the way back through all of these things that I just manually did, and I can delete them because now it's on the slide master. So any item, any text, any picture that you want to show up on every single slide, you just go into the slide master. Again, that is view, and that is slide master, and you add whatever text needs to show. And you'll see here that they have dates that you can show. They also have page numbers, anything in your footer that you want to show. Okay, and so anytime you have the duplicate text, you just need to delete that. And you got it. So these are already here. Nothing is added there manually because it's there on the slide master. And guess what? On this particular slide, the Twitter and Facebook icons are not there. So just keep that in mind for the ones that have it and don't have it. Then you're simply using a different slide master template. Okay, as you go through these different slide master options, you will see which ones have certain things and which ones do not. And again, these are just things that will give you a foundation for your presentation. All right, you go through here, you repurpose this information for the presentation that you're working on now, and I can delete these because I've already created these for the presentation I'm working on now, so I'm deleting all of the other ones where I don't need it. So these two are the same. Delete that particular slide because I already have it. These two are the same. Delete this one because I already have it. Okay, and now I still need to go through and delete anything that is duplicated from my slide master. All right, and I would recommend you doing this in like a streamlined process, not just hopping around like me, but make sure you view your presentation at the end so that you will know what is out of, off kilter, because you don't want to be presenting something that you have not looked at and edited. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to move these bubbles around so that they don't touch that line that we had to move down initially. And I am going to now, when I present this particular slide, I'm going to make it relevant to visioning. Okay, so this is something that I have been able to use so many times for prayer, for themes, for businesses, for our target markets in branding, and now just restate what's on this slide for goals of visioning. And at the end of every presentation, you want to have a slide that asks for any questions and a slide that promotes your business, and then one that finally thanks others for the opportunity. Another slide that you always want to have on every single one of your presentations is something that tells you welcome. Okay, now I showed you this for the purposes of creating some transparency for those slides that are too busy. So you can take this particular box that we created, you actually can add it to every single slide that you have. And go through here and just send it to the back and then change that text that's in the front. Okay, change all that text to a different color, and that way you have like a different type of template if you want to use that one. All right, so these are just some tips on how to repurpose an old presentation really quickly for any new groups that you have. And you can do this when you don't have a lot of time, or even when you do have a lot of time, but you don't necessarily want to start from scratch, especially if you have a brand that you want to stick to. Okay, this is one of those slides too, for example, that you might want to repurpose the goals of visioning. You may not want to say, these are my favorite things, but you can say, let's say this is my visioning space. Okay, and these might then be repurposed to say things that help me to speak life, things that help me to see vision, things that help my vision come to pass, things that bring me peace when visioning. It's kind of up to you how you use the material that you create, but I'm just giving you an example of how some of the material that you already have can be repurposed really quickly. You don't have to start from scratch every time, especially when you don't have much time, or when you have those conversations right before a presentation that might prompt you to make some quick changes. I do not recommend that at all. I want to be sure that you're as well prepared as you possibly can be. So Good luck with all your future presentations. I pray that this has been quite helpful for you. Until next time, bye bye.